Rishi Sunak can't seem to make his mind up about whether he's going to the COP27 summit in Egypt, which doesn't bode well, does it? Indecisiveness is surely not a great leadership quality. Of course he shouldn't be going. If any of the international delegates at COP27 truly gave a toss about climate change, none of them would be flying into this summit in Sharm el Sheikh. The whole thing would be taking place over Zoom. They could do the whole thing over the internet, significantly reducing their carbon emissions and leading by example. If these people had any integrity or commitment to saving the planet, they very clearly wouldn't be jet setting around the world. So how can the rest of us be expected to take them, their message or their mission seriously? Meanwhile, the middle class Just Stop Oil clowns continue to turn the general population against their cause by blocking roads and vandalising much loved works of art. Consequently, ordinary hard-working people struggling with the ramped-up cost of living have less and less patience for climate politics. Meanwhile, whilst those of us who enjoy a reasonable state of mental stability are well aware that the current economic crisis was caused by 2 years of unjustifiable, ruinous pandemic lockdowns, where our government printed money and threw it at any phony scam business that made a claim for it, the same woke faux liberals who want to wallow in climate virtue signalling protests have convinced themselves that the economic downturn afflicting the whole of the Western world is somehow specific to the UK and caused entirely by Brexit. The unabated lunacy of these people is extraordinary to behold. And again, it's the same people, the same vocal, self-righteous, middle-class Marxists who continue to defend a now terminally defective NHS. Year on year, we're seeing a rise in death rates because sick people in this country are simply not able to access treatment. The NHS swallows up billions of pounds of taxpayers' money every year, and yet frontline workers, nurses, paramedics are potentially going on strike in the coming months because their pay is not going up in line with inflation. So where's all the money going? To layer after layer of ineffectual middle management, skillless white middle-class faux liberal university graduates with no work ethic but a monumental sense of entitlement, twiddling their thumbs behind a public sector desk, doing nothing but collecting a taxpayer-funded cheque at the end of every month. These people, who cause so much damage to the fabric of society, have constantly in recent years had their voices elevated and legitimised in the mainstream media, the BBC, Channel 4, social media. Their narrative, whilst destroying the global economy and plunging millions into poverty, has been for some years the only acceptable one to voice in public. The damage this has caused is now obvious for us all to see. Whilst alternative voices are starting to be heard without instant cancellation, the damage has already been done. Never again can these people be given licence to inflict a stranglehold on free speech and public debate as they have over the past decade. They have the audacity to call themselves progressives, but what's palpably obvious is that in recent years they've made our world a considerably more difficult, inequitable, dysfunctional and unpleasant place to live in.